Burger could soon be coming, but will it bring dangerous traffic and congestion to a busy intersection?
Looking at the rain moving out in our forecast now, but we are not done. We are looking at more weather impact alert days for next week.
Today, a Superior Court judge ruled that Rady Children's must continue to provide gender-affirming care. I have more on the next court date.
The federal electric vehicle tax credit ended months ago. Now Governor Newsom is proposing a new zero-emission vehicle incentive. We spoke with the San Diego Electric Vehicle Association to get their thoughts.
When you lose nearly 300 pounds, that's a comeback story that makes headlines in People magazine.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
The thing that I would worry about is where the cars are going to back up.
It worries me quite a bit. I think it's because I drive this every day.
Animal style might soon be easier to order for people in La Mesa. And while some are excited, others are worried about potential traffic turmoil. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
And I'm Steve Price. And tonight for Carlo, and In-N-Out could soon be coming to that city for the very first time. But its proposed location is already serving up some concerns in the community.
CBS 8's Brian White is working for you tonight, looking into what's planned and what it means for traffic.
Yeah, this could soon be the future home of In-N-Out Burger in La Mesa. Supporters call it a win for the city, but critics say without careful planning, it could turn a busy intersection into a bottleneck.
If approved, this former bank on Grossmont Center Drive would become the first In-N-Out ever in the city of La Mesa, something many say is long overdue.
You can still get a burger for about $6. Okay, that's their menu's shocking, right? And then you get their meal for about $10.
City Council member Laura Lothian says people are excited, and the popular chain is known for moving customers quickly.
They're very, very, very fast at processing orders. You've got all those guys with those mics outside, and you're not sitting there waiting for a long time.
She says the restaurant would add to the momentum of new businesses coming to town.
There's a buzz. Everyone in La Mesa is feeling this excitement of prosperity and fun.
But not everyone is celebrating. Ryan Kelly lives 2 blocks away. He says this intersection is jam-packed with the mall, Grossmont Hospital, and the transit station all right here.
Ambulances come this way. People come here to go shopping. It's already kind of jammed up.
He worries the chain's famously long drive-through lines could spill into surrounding streets.
It worries me quite a bit. I think it's because I drive this every day.
I reached out to In-N-Out Burger. The vice president of store development told me they're still undergoing the application process, and I checked with the city. They confirmed it's under review, and they will require the burger chain to provide an overflow management plan. And they say if any problems arise from their drive-through line, they'd be required to fix it immediately.
They're going to have 2 side-by-side drive-through sale aisles and windows instead of 1 to allow for double-barrel queuing. I haven't seen that, so that's going to be interesting, and that's pretty exciting.
The city tells me this project will go to the Planning Commission at some point, but there is no timeline for that yet. In La Mesa, Brian White, CBS 8.
And remember, if there's something you would like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. All right, the rain has passed, but don't pack away your umbrella just yet.
Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis joins us now with a closer look at what we saw today and what's ahead. Maybe I should go find my umbrella.
I was about to say, I bet neither one of you even bust out an umbrella today.
I'm like running through the parking lot like this.
I was going to call Steve out because I know that Steve didn't have his umbrella with him today. I did see his, I saw your live shot.
I know, it's bad.
But Marcella, come on. Well, you got some time to find it. So we are looking at clear skies as we go into tonight. We're starting to see that clearing right there along the coast. We had our sunset at 5:31 for this evening. But yeah, we started off the day with dreary conditions. They started to roll in late last night and overnight hours, had the raindrops coming down, and we were still dealing with that wet weather all the way into the morning drive. We saw the higher totals favoring North County, and that brought a little bit more than a half an inch of rainfall for Oceanside. You also saw more than a quarter of an inch for Vista as well as for Carlsbad. A little less than that, and that was for downtown, a little less than that quarter of an inch. And also talking talking about 1/10 of an inch of rainfall for La Mesa. The highest total for San Diego County was San Onofre, a little bit more than an inch of rain. So we still have 2 areas of low pressure that are nearby. One that's producing wet weather across Northern California in the form of snow for the Sierra and also the rain. That one you see just towards the south is a little blip. That's going to bring in a weak disturbance, a chance we could see some isolated showers by Friday, mainly for the mountains. And then we gear up for next week where more weather impact alert days will take over. We'll take a look at your extended forecast coming up. Marcella.
Thanks, Carlene. And you can always find our extended weather forecast on our CBS 8 app. Just download on your TV and watch for free. A San Diego judge has ruled Rady Children's Hospital must continue providing gender-affirming care aside from major surgeries.
The judge's order extends an already existing temporary restraining order through March 10th. CBS 8's Alex Cheney was inside the courtroom. He joins us now live with the details. Alex.
Yes, Steve, there was some contention in the courtroom today as Rady Children's Hospital finds themselves in a really tough spot between the state and the federal government, as continuing to provide the gender-affirming care that the state requires could force the hospital to lose its federal funding and put its some 800,000 patients at immediate risk.
I'd have 14 days to make a ruling if, in fact, you got a 15-day notice.
In the Hall of Justice today, counsel for Rady Children's said that losing federal funding would be a financial death knell to the hospital. Rady Children's announced it was ending gender-affirming care following a December 2025 declaration by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The declaration threatened to cut off all federal funding, such as Medi-Cal, if hospitals provide gender-affirming care.
The point is, every day, every act under the text of the Secretary's notice of December 18, 2025, every act in violation of that is a potential grounds for exclusion from Medicare and Medicaid coverage.
On the state level, back on January 30th, California Attorney General Rob Bonta filed suit against Rady Children's, saying when the hospital merged with Children's Hospital of Orange County, they agreed to take on youth gender-affirming care patients, which the hospital is now trying to stop. The TRO specifies that Rady Children's is allowed to continue serving patients under 18 years old with puberty blockers and other hormone treatments. Implants are still allowed, but the hospital cannot do surgeries. Rady Children's said there are currently 7 patients still waiting for a surgery that can't get one.
We are willing to talk to them about a possible conditional approval that would allow for some kind of conditions to be in place to accommodate and mitigate any harms to patients.
The judge ordered both sides must make a joint statement on February 24th outlining all current cases of minors seeking gender-affirming care and how the HHS declaration is impacting their treatment. Now, the judge extended the TRO through March 10th, so Rady's will still be required to do that gender-affirming care through that date. Now, the judge did go on to say that if any time over the next month, should Rady Children's Hospital lose their federal funding, there will be automatically another court date to talk about this issue within 24 hours of Rady Children's losing their funding. Reporting live from the Hall of Justice, I'm Alex Cheney. Back over to you.
All right, Alex, thanks for the update. San Diego Unified School District leaders were in Sacramento today. They are asking state lawmakers for more funding for special education. The superintendent and board vice president plan to push for investments in early intervention and behavioral supports, especially for students in transitional kindergarten through 3rd grade. The district is also requesting $250 million to build a tiered system to target behavioral and emotional support.
Education services cost our district more than $400 million annually, yet we receive only about $125 million from state, federal, and local sources, and only $30 million comes from the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA.
This comes just 2 weeks before a scheduled teacher strike. San Diego Unified said it is honoring the strike and closing schools on February 26th. The makeup day for classes will be March 9th. Governor Gavin Newsom signed legislation into law to fast-track $90 million in emergency funding for Planned Parenthood.
The measure cleared both houses of the legislature this week. This grant is in addition to the more than $140 million the legislature allocated to Planned Parenthood last year. The money will come from the state's general fund and will guarantee STD services, cancer screenings, abortions, and other health care for women.
In California, we don't defund health care. We defend it.
But this time, we needed an army with us. We really did.
What are we as a nation thinking? Women are the backbones of our families, our communities, and our economy. Without us, what do you have?
No mothers.
Planned Parenthood operates more than 100 health clinics statewide, some of which have closed due to federal funding cuts. The president's so-called Big Beautiful Bill bans Medi-Cal funding from reimbursing services under Planned Parenthood. But Republicans argue in granting the contract exclusively to Planned Parenthood and so quickly, they're concerned about transparency and whether specific recipients of the grants will be publicly disclosed. They are pushing for direct investment into rural hospitals impacted by federal cuts. California could make going electric a bit easier.
A new $200 million proposal could help first-time buyers get into zero-emission vehicles. CBS 8's Esmeralda Perez joins us now to break down what this proposed program means for drivers right here in San Diego. Esmeralda.
Well, that's right, Steve. Marcella, the federal EV tax credit ended months ago, and now Governor Newsom is pushing for a new zero-emission vehicle incentive program. It would help first-time buyers of both new and used EVs with a dollar-for-dollar match from automakers. Now, the California Air Resources Board, also known as CARB, says the proposed program still needs legislative approval and the governor's signature. If it passes, CARB would administer it. To qualify, vehicles must be zero emission, registered in California, and come from a participating manufacturer. New vehicles must be on CARB's approved list. Vehicles must also fall under the manufacturer's suggested retail price cap set by the Federal Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. That's $55,000 for new passenger cars, $80,000 for vans, SUVs, and pickup trucks, and $25,000 for used vehicles. We spoke with the EV Association of San Diego about what this proposal could mean for local drivers. President Elaine Burset says this is great news for all Californians. Take a listen.
Definitely, families are going to benefit, first-time buyers for sure, and anybody that's looking at a new or used electric vehicle is going to benefit. The cost of EVs is coming down across the board.
And CARB will hold a workshop this spring to share the plan and get feedback. More details on the timeline will come after the bill is signed. We'll, of course, keep a close eye on this bill as it moves forward and share any new developments. We'll have much more from the EV Association of San Diego on this proposal tonight at 10 on the CW San Diego and CBS 8 News live at 11. Back to you.
Definitely could affect a lot of people here in San Diego.
Yeah, a lot of people driving electric and want to get into driving electric too. Thanks, Esmeralda.
All right, some pet owners are getting a big break when it comes to caring for their four-legged friends.
We'll have those details still ahead. Plus, the city of San Diego says the closed Tecolote Canyon Golf Course will reopen, but many are concerned about its future.
But first, what we're learning about an unprecedented FAA move and how it involved lasers, Mexican drug cartels, and a party balloon.